gave me money was Donald Trump. He wanted casino gambling in Florida.
I didn't want
Yes, you did.
Totally false.
You wanted it, and you didn't get it because I was
it.
opposed to casino gambling
I
before,
promise I would've
during,
gotten it.
and after. And that's not, I'm not going to be bought by anybody.
I promise, if I wanted it, I would have gotten it.
No way, Ben.
Believe me.
Nope.
I know my people.
Not even possible.
I know my people.
Is there anything else you want to say about this?
No, I just...
Hey, if he wanted it, folks, he would have gotten it. Okay? There's no doubt about that. And Jeb Bush saying that, I mean, come on. You put the money in, the developers come inside there, they want a gambling casino, whatever it was, he would have gotten it if he wanted it.
will tell you that, Jeb made the statement. I'm not only referring to him. A lot of money was raised by a lot of different people that are standing up here. And the donors, the special interests, the lobbyists have very strong power over these people. I'm spending all of my money. I'm not getting any. I turned down so much. I could have right now from special interests and donors, I could have double and triple what he's got. I've turned it down. I've turned down last week $5 million from somebody.
You got Hillary Clinton to go to your wedding because you gave her money. True. Maybe it works for Hillary Clinton. It doesn't work for anybody on this stage.
I was a businessman. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody.
Yeah.
That was my job, to get along with people.
But the simple fact is...
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to...
Jeff, Donald, you cannot take...
More energy tonight. I like that. Look.
I was asked the question.
I didn't want...
He just zinged him right there, folks. He just zinged him. More energy. This is going back to the fact that he just crushed him previously by basically calling him low energy Jeb. You talk about branding. Trump is great at branding people with just like 1 or 2 words. So he just goes right there. He says, he just goes there and says, great, you got more energy tonight. I love it.
It was my obligation as a businessman to my family, to my company, to my employees, to get along with all politicians. I got along with all of them, and I did a damn good job in doing it. Go ahead.
So, he supports Pelosi. He supports Schumer. He supports Clinton.
Got along with everybody.
And when he asked Florida to have casino gambling, we said no.
Wrong.
We said no, and that's the simple
Wrong.
fact.
Don't make things up, Jeb.
Don't cut me off.
Come on, don't make things. What I said to you, was you're going to destabilize the Middle East, and that's what happened.
So
he's referred to me in his remarks.
Chance,
may I make a response?
Right after me, and I'll yield the floor. What do you guys say in the Senate when you're talking and debating?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Here's the facts. As it relates to my brother, there's one thing I know for sure: he kept us safe. I don't know if you remember, Donald. You remember the rubble? You remember the firefighter with his arms around it? He sent a clear signal.
I will say to Jeb, there's no doubt George Bush did what had to be done in the aftermath of the attacks. There's no doubt about that. September 11th, 9/11. So I will definitely, give him that. Now, there were some things that came out of that afterwards that we can get into, a whole host of things that I've got with the Bushes or whatever that we're finding out now in terms of how globalist their thinking was and just continues to be. And that can be said for not only the Bushes, but also for the Clintons and the Obamaites and all the rest of them in terms of their globalist thinking. Anyway, let's get back to this debate.
That the United States would be strong and fight Islamic terrorism, and he did keep us safe.
I don't know, you feel safe right now? I don't feel so safe.
40 years ago, I smoked marijuana, and I admit it.
Autism has become an epidemic.
Fun moment there in terms of that, the old hand slap. Looks like they were tag teaming for a while. It's really funny sometimes, folks. It really is funny when you take a look at it and you see politics absolutely make the strangest bedfellows. There they were before going after it, each one calling each other a liar. And then probably somebody zings somebody on something else. And you know what? There you go. we're on the same team together, at least for the next 30 seconds or a minute. Then who knows what's going to happen after that.
And just thirdly, he was so nice. He was such a nice guy. And he said, oh, I'm never going to attack. But then his poll numbers tanked. That's why he's on the end. And he got nasty. So you know what? You can have him.
Where did I read this and come up with this that you were...
Probably, I don't know. You people write this stuff. I don't know where you...
Let's just be clear. Let's talk
if I could say just one thing.
Yeah.
I am the only person in either campaign that's self-funding. I'm putting up 100% of my own money. And right now, I will be putting up a tremendous... So far, I put up less than anybody, and I have the best results. Wouldn't that be nice if the country could do that? But I will be putting up, tremendous amounts of money. Super PACs are a disaster. They're a scam. They cause dishonesty. And you better get rid of them, because they are causing a lot of bad decisions to be made by some very good people. And I'm not blaming these folks, but I guess I could.
Governor Bush.
Yeah.
That was classic. Donald Trump, come on, man. You got to love him. You got to love him, right? I mean, I know a lot of people hate him, but I love him. I mean, I'm not saying it's these people. No, but then I guess I could. I mean, it just... It's like you're watching a politician, a businessman, a comedian, somebody who's playing the straight guy, somebody who's playing... I mean, it's just, you don't know what's going to happen, but there is truth, maybe subtleties in the statements that he makes, but he does make you think about what the hell is going on here. And it may not be with the oratorical eloquence of, let's say, Martin Luther King or even, Barack Obama or whatever, but that we don't want orations. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody who can do summations. What I say, just sum it up in words, plain spoken, get the point out there, get the message out there, and everybody will be able to take from it what they want, because it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward.
I would like to make a comment.
You've already made 2 comments, John. It's my turn.
We have more questions for you, Governor Kasich, coming up. We have more questions for you, Governor Kasich.
I got about 4 minutes last debate. I'm going to get my question right now.
I appreciate it, Jeb. I'm all for you. But I want at some point talk about a value-added tax and $11-12 trillion tax cuts that will put our kids way deeper in the hole than they have been at this point. So I'd like to talk about it at some point, because that's what leadership is.
We will certainly get to that. Governor Bush.
Yeah.
We can't ship 11 million people out of this country. Children would be terrified, and it will not work.
Thank you. Mr. Trump, you've had a good... let me just...
Built an unbelievable company worth billions and billions of dollars. I don't have to hear from this man. Believe me. I don't have to hear from him.
Mr. Trump, you yourself said let Governor Bush speak. Governor Bush.
Thank you, Donald, for allowing me to speak at the debate. That's really nice of you. Really appreciate that. What a generous man you are.
Ronald Reagan didn't.
And Ronald Reagan walked away at Reykjavik. He walked away. He quit talking when it was time to quit talking.
Can I finish with my time?
Why does she keep interrupting everybody?
Yeah.
What? Terrible.
Yeah, I'd like to finish my response, basically.
If I may respond.
This is an important question.
You can see the donor class there, going after that. And I think, Carly, she can fight for herself. She's feisty, she's strong. And, the crowd just didn't like it when Trump comes in and said, why is she interrupting? Because there we go again. Women interrupting, women talking. They should just be quiet. I mean, that's sort of, what the take is going to be, or the take actually was when this debate was being looked at. Oh, they're bullying a woman up there. Look at Trump. He's bullying a woman. Look at, Marco Rubio and Rand Paul. They're all ganging up on one woman. Oh, how terrible. Oh, misogynistic. Republican Party hates women. Republican Party misogynistic. You know the drill. That's the drill, folks.
This is an incredibly important question.
Why would you then bail out rich Wall Street banks, but not Main Street, not mom and pop, not Sabina Loving? Well, you just said an executive knows to step in and bail out a bank.
They were talking about what you would do with depositors. Would you let these banks shut down? My argument is going forward, the banks have to reserve the capital so that the people who own the capital start pressuring the banks to not take these risky approaches, Ted. But at the end of the day...
So you said you'd abandon philosophy and abandon principle, but what would you do if the bank was failing?
Because if during...
What would you do if the bank was failing?
I would not let the people who put their money in there all go down.
So you would bail them out?
No. As an executive, I would figure out how to separate those people who could afford it versus those people or the hard-working folks who put their money in those institutions. Let me say another thing. Here's what I mean by that.
You flew in with your 767, didn't you, right there, right next to the plant?
No, the new planes. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about in the future. They're building massive plants in China because China does not want Boeing building their planes here. They want it built in China because China happens to be smart the way they do it, not the way we do it.
When you head back to the airport tonight, go check and see.
I'll check for you.
Check it out.
Now you got Europe. We're not doing that one.
Why should individuals
Maria, I'd like to
interrupt instead of 10%?
Maria, I'd like to interrupt the floor of the Senate to actually answer the question you asked. Entitlements. Do you remember that, everybody? This was a question on entitlements.
I'll answer
the reason. Now you already had your chance, Marky. You blew it. Here's the thing.
Jeb doesn't really believe I'm unhinged. He said that very simply because he has failed in this campaign. It's been a total disaster. Nobody cares. And frankly, I'm the most solid person up here. I built a tremendous company, and all I want to do is make America great again. I don't want our country to be taken away from us, and that's what's happening. The policies that we've suffered under other presidents have been a disaster for our country. We want to make America great again. And Jeb, in all fairness, he doesn't believe that.
Look,
Wow. He just literally took him out, just capped him at the knees, folks. I mean, and let's face it, this was just the donor class, the elite class, the political class, the entitlement class, right? And I'm talking about entitlement, meaning the elites that think that they're entitled to everything that's out there. At what? At the suffering of the middle class. Flyover country, what we call country class, not country club class, not the country club class from where the Bushes are and the Clintons and the Obamas and the rest of them. That's what we're talking about. And not what Trump was talking about. Trump was basically saying that, listen, he built his business. He's the only one up there that has built businesses, taken them to great heights. Yes, he's had his share of probably losses on the business side, but he signed, both sides of a check. How many of these people up here, can say that they've signed both sides of a check, taken risks? Trump didn't need this. Wants to do something, like I said, he wants to make America great again. But he wants to do it in a way that is different. It's not exploiting the working class.
He mentioned me. I can talk. This is the problem. 2 months ago, Donald Trump said that ISIS was not our fight. Just 2 months ago, he said that Hillary Clinton would be a great negotiator with Iran, and he gets his foreign policy experience from the shows.
Come on,
that is not a serious kind of candidate. We need someone.
We need toughness. Honestly, I think Jeb is a very nice person. He's a very nice person, but we need tough people. We need toughness. We need intelligence, and we need tough. Jeb said when they come across the southern border, they come as an active love.
You said in September 30th that ISIS was not a
Am I talking or are you talking, Jeb?
I'm talking right now. I'm talking.
You can go back. You're not talking. You interrupted me,
September 30th,
Are you going to apologize, Jeb? No. Am I allowed to finish?
Yes, one at a time.
Excuse me. Am I allowed to finish?
Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
So,
little of your own
again,
medicine there.
I know you're trying to build
Bush,
up your energy,
please,
Jeff, but it's not working
one at a
very
time.
well. Look.
Another energy joke, another
we need a
energy jab.
toughness. We need strength.
Governor Bush.
Donald, you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency. That's not going to happen.
I think he
and
did.
I do have the strength.
You see the donor class clapping for Jeb.
Leadership is not about a military that is second to none so that we can destroy Islamic terrorism.
With Jeb's attitude, we will never be great again. That I can tell you. We will never be great again.
All right, Hugh, go ahead with the next question.
I'd like to also go back to, though, another question, which is Donald Trump a serious candidate? The reason I ask this is...
mentioned, so I can bring up something, I think, right? Look, the simple fact is, if you think this is tough and you're not being treated
this
fairly,
isn't tough and easy.
Imagine what it's going to be like dealing with Putin, or dealing with President
Xi,
Xi, or dealing with the Islamic terrorism that exists. This is a tough business to run for president.
I know you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is principled. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better. You know, you started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over.
Wow. He just said, and how many millions of dollars? How many millions of dollars to get those 3 delegates? Hundreds of millions of dollars to get 3 delegates. 3. Or was it percentage points? I'm not sure exactly at that point in time when this thing occurred. Maybe it was at 40%. He's at 3%. I think that might have been in terms of percentages at where he was at that time. I mean, he just literally, like you said, you're not going to insult your way to the top. Well, insult, fight, scrappy, get in the boxing ring, take your lumps, put in your own lumps, do what you need to do. That's exactly what Donald Trump was doing. That's exactly what he was doing. And Jeb never could recover, especially from the time when he basically called low energy Jeb. I mean, that was it. And there's a ring of truth to that. When you take a look at Jeb versus President Trump, you tell me, where is the energy emanating from? When Trump gets riled up, you see the energy. When Jeb gets riled up, you see the class nerd basically saying, yeah, I think I'll go ahead now and start to fight. And you're like going, come on, you're never going to start the fight. You're never going to do it. You're not going to defend yourself. You may think you are with words, but the words mean nothing. Anyways, folks, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasser Shake Show. I've been your host. My name is Dr. Nasser. If you haven't done so already, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and follow us. Let us know what you think. Comment below. Check out our other video links above and below. I'll leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.